At nearly 4 stories tall, the mural of Paul Robeson looks west on Chestnut Street near
Her voice has become familiar.
The Dodds are familiar with Siani's 22-year-old mother, Rita, although she is not a blood relative.
And her story's impactful, as KYW News Radio's community affairs reporter, Cherri Gregg, is in her element.
Let's try to get some folks on their way out.
I love being able to inform people, being able to help people, being able to touch people.
The Washington, D.C. native packs a lot of punch into the story she files, highlighting the impact on people.
Hopefully to allow other folks to see the world from their neighbor's point of view, or someone who's totally unlike them from their point of view.
My client was not even on the scene.
Cherri's trek to journalism began in the field of law. She is Cherri Gregg, Esquire, a Howard University Law School alum who is licensed to practice in 2 states.
The reason why I went to law school is the same reason why I became a journalist, because I believe in the Constitution, I believe in the Bill of Rights. And in my mind, voting is the most important right we have.
3 years ago, Cherri traded in her success-filled legal pad for a reporter's notebook. She went to Temple University for a master's degree in journalism. Before graduating, she joined PABJ, NABJ, and landed a job at KYW Radio. And when the fledgling reporter learned about a law requiring Pennsylvania voters to show photo identification, the lawyer-turned-journalist pressed into action and pitched the voter ID story.
I went to Steve Butler, my boss, and I said, look, I want to do more stories on this. I think we need to hone in on this. I want this to be my baby. I will take control of this, and I will take the lead on it. So when she learned of Pennsylvania's voter ID law, she says she was outraged. I believe that work sort of raised the shade, so to speak, and showed a lot of problems with that law.
Her coverage made clear that she had become an expert on voter ID, and while filing reports for KYW Radio, was asked to do live television updates for sister station CBS 3.
The courtroom showdown between the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the ACLU will begin next Wednesday.
Cherri also convinced her boss to let her air a series she created called Game Changers.
I wanted people who were changing the game for African Americans. They didn't necessarily have to be African Americans, but they had to be impacting that community.
Whether covering culture, a presidential inauguration, or breaking news, it's clear that Cherri has claimed a calling that began long ago.
When I was 10 years old, I used to run around with a hairbrush and say, on the record, and everybody in my family would be like, get that thing out of my face. So it's always been in me. Law school was sort of a detour that I had always hoped would get me back where I am today.
Her family is undoubtedly proud now each time they hear.
Cherri Gregg, KYW News Radio.
The Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists salutes Cherri Gregg with a 2013 Journalist of the Year award.